Hello everybody joining from home. We just wait 2-3 more minutes for everybody to join the stream. Behind me you can already see the team. Everybody is getting ready for the stream. Everybody is super excited to do this tonight. Before we start, just 3 things to notice. 1, the language. We'll be doing this whole thing in English, just because we thought it's the language most understood. I hope that's okay with you. 2nd, if you could use this time right now to already give this video a thumbs up, subscribe our channel, that would be amazing. We would love to do such events more often with you, maybe even invite you to the office, but we need your positive signal for that. And 3rd, if you have any questions throughout the live stream or even after, we won't be doing a Q&A today. But there will be a very specific space where you can ask all your questions, and I'll be getting into detail about that in my talk later. So now, I'll be getting ready for my part. Enjoy the show. See you in a minute.
Ist gut.
Welcome everybody to our very first Neon Live update. My name is Matthias. I'm head of product at Neon, and I'm super excited to have you tonight. Tonight is actually another very first, our very first AI feature at Neon. We call it Finsights. Finsights is giving you an easy, super comfortable access to learn about how you spend your money. In fact, I've been using this feature for quite a while now, and I'm surprised by how much it changed how I'm using the Neon app. But see for yourself, I'm already handing over to Hagen, the product manager responsible for this feature, and he will have all the details.
Thank you, Matthias. Many of you have asked a lot of questions about your spending. And those questions were so broad that you need a flexible solution and not just a simple report. Currently, you have 2 options. The first is to go into your statistics. While your statistics are very good to get a broad overview, they are not so good to answer specific questions. And the second is that you can use our export function, download all our transactions and your transactions, and then you dive into a sea of spreadsheets. That works, but let's be honest. Spreadsheets are not the most exciting way to spend your weekend. We thought there must be a better way. So we looked around, but we couldn't find anything. This is when we decided to roll up our sleeves and build our own solution. And this is how Finsights was born. Today, I'm super excited to present Finsights to you, a way where you can very comfortably, just within our app, answer specific questions about your spending. At the beginning of the year, I myself made a resolution to spend less and save more. And I started with it, but then I quickly forgot about it and never looked at it again. But maybe I miraculously still spent less and saved more. We will have a look. And to do this, I will go now to my phone. I will open the app. It logs me in. Howdy Hagen, that's me. And after just a short wait, we're here. I can go to statistics. And now you see a new icon in the top right corner. This is where Finsights is at home. And here I can just ask a question. For example, I could say, show me my income, my expenses, and the result per year. Now I let it think, and after just a short while, it will give me an answer. So here I can see the year, how much I spent, how much my income was, and the result. And it becomes very clear there's no miracle here. I haven't really lived more frugally. But maybe my expenses include all my money that I spent for investments or that I put into my spaces. To find that out, I click on this little question mark. And here I see it excludes my transactions and my joint accounts and my spaces. So this money I really just spent and it's all gone. So I wonder, how did I spend all this money? Well, rent is clearly one of my biggest expenses. After all, I live in Zurich. There's nothing I can really do about it unless any one of you knows about a cheap, well-located, vacant apartment in prime condition. I look around, no one here knows. So looks like this is nothing I can spend. But maybe I should look at my card expenses, because my card expenses, unlike rent, are likely avoidable. And for this, I again asked Finsights, show me my 10 biggest expenses with my card this year. And here I should say card and not car, because I don't even own a car, so that doesn't make any sense. So now I let it think again. And here I can see there are a lot of travel expenses. There's Booking.com, there are a couple of hotels, there's Opodo, there's eDreams. So it looks like I spent a lot on traveling. But what is AU Dixon? That doesn't ring a bell, but I'm very sure Finsights knows. Therefore I asked Finsights, show me my expense at AU Dixon. And now, again, after a short while, it will tell me. And now I can see, now I know. That is actually the hotel I stayed in on my weekend trip to London. It's right next to the Tower Bridge. It's really nice. You should check it out. But what this also makes clear is I really spend a lot of money on traveling. And to be honest, this is not where I want to save. I really like to travel, and I want to do even more on it than less. So maybe it's not the biggest expenses. Maybe it's the small expenses that can quickly add up. For this, I ask a slightly more difficult question. Show me my top 10 merchants with which I have the most transactions below 10 CHF with my card. And here I can see now there's a lot of Coop, there's Coop Pronto, Denna, Aldi. That must be all the sweets and ice creams I buy when I feel snacky. Maybe I should just pick up an apple next time. But I can also see there's a lot of ZVV. And these are bus tickets and so on. So maybe it makes sense for me to buy a monthly pass. To find that out, I again ask Finsights, show me my expenses for public transport per year on a monthly basis. And here I can see, since I have my account, I really spend a lot of public transport, but it's not enough to really justify a monthly pass. But a help tax would be a good choice for me because here I can really save money. Thanks to Finsights, I now know about it and I can buy a help tax and save some money here. That's great. So as you can see, with Finsights, we give you a tool to do just that, what I just did. And you can do it everywhere. You can do it while traveling, on the bus to work, or at home on your couch. It doesn't even need to be so complicated like what I did. You can ask some very simple questions and check some little things. For example, you could ask, how much have I put into my spaces this year? Or something more fun like comparing with your friends and asking Finsights who has spent how much on fast food this year. This is all great. Finsights can help you with all of this. And now you might wonder, and I wonder myself, but how does it work? And what happens to my data? I know just the right person to ask that. Here's Raphael, our head of data, to enlighten us how this all works.
Thank you, Hagen, and hello from my side. So from the first point when we started to build Finsights, one thing was clear, and that was data privacy had to be at the heart of it. And now I'd like to share with you how we did that. Our approach to data privacy was built on 3 pillars. The first is all services and infrastructure that we use to run Finsights is located on servers right here in Switzerland. This means your data stays local and your questions are not sent around the globe just to be answered. Now, the second pillar is that we make sure that none of your transactions are shared with the AI. So how does this work? For Finsights, we use AI just as a translator between your questions and the transactions database. The AI is not the processor of your personal data. Let me explain that with an example. So you remember when Hagen asked for this obscure transaction at AU Dixon. To answer that, Finsights doesn't need to access Hagen's transactions history. Instead, the AI knows about the general structure of the tables and just decides which columns and filters need to be set to answer it. So the output is ultimately a code for a database request. And this code is then executed safely in the transactions database, and the answer is sent directly to you. So the AI never sees your transactions. Now, let me get into one more detail here. You may be familiar with tools like ChatGPT, where you can ask follow-up questions that could evolve during a conversation. These tools enable that because they send your data back and forth between you and the AI. Now, for Finsights, we decided to not enable this feature. In contrast, we make each question standalone and unidirectional. So there's no back and forth and no risk for any further spread of your data. Now with that, I'd like to get to the third pillar, which is Finsights is opt-in. So there are no predefined profiles or pre-configured settings. Only when you decide to turn it on, it started. And with that, we are putting you fully in control. These are the 3 pillars: local data, confidentiality, and user control. With that, I hope you have a clear overview how we are making data privacy a priority for Neon Finsights. And now I'd like to hand over to Zoe. She is our in-house product designer and was responsible for Finsights. And she will walk you through what are the plans for Finsights and where we are heading next.
Thanks, Raphael. So although we have yet to release Neon Finsights, we're already working on ways to improve the feature and its user experience. So today I would like to showcase to you 2 upcoming improvements that we have planned for the next few weeks. And to help explain what these improvements are and what they look like, I've prepared a click dummy that I would like to share with you right now. So let's take a look at the first improvement that we have lined up, which is giving users the ability to actually save or favorite their question. So let's say you ask Finsights a question and you think, wow, this response is great. I'm definitely going to ask this question again frequently in the future. But you don't want to have to type that question out again and again. So this is why we now will give you the ability to actually favorite a question. So if you look in the top left corner, you'll see a star icon. And if you click it, you then start the process of favoriting a question. So the first step you do is actually give a short name to your question. And the reason why you do this is so that it makes it a lot easier to actually find your favorited question on the Finsights home screen, where all your favorites will be located. So instead of giving it the name, show me all co-op transactions from 2024, include date and amount, which was the question, you can just give it a short and simple name, like co-op 2024. And the final step is that you get to select an emoji for your question. So not only is it fun to actually personalize your favorite question, but again, it makes it easier to spot and identify your favorite question on the home screen. So because I named it Co-op 2024, I think it makes sense to pick the shopping cart emoji. And congrats, you've now favorited a question. So like I said quickly, if you go back to the Finsights home screen, you can find here all of your favorited questions. And you can even see the Co-op 2024 is now there. And now if we move on to the second improvement, which is giving users the ability to export a response from Finsights. So we can actually test that on our new favorite question. Okay, so now if you look below Finsights response, below the table, to the far right, there's a new icon that's been added, and that's the export or download icon. If you click on that, you're then prompted to select the file type of your choice, so a PDF or a CSV, whatever you like, and really exporting a response is as simple as that. So those are our 2 upcoming improvements that we have planned. But I would also like to mention one of our current limitations and what we plan to do. So currently, Finsights can only answer questions that are about your main account transactions. But in the future, we would also like to include transactions from your joint account and your spaces. So I hope you've enjoyed this very brief look into the near future of Finsights. And with that, I'll hand it back over to Matthias for some final remarks.
All right, that is Finsights. I hope you're as excited about Finsights as we are. It's not self-driving cars, it's not robots, but it's not fake. What you just saw is real. And to prove that to you, we will ship out this feature starting tomorrow. So tomorrow, head over to your App Store, your Play Store, download the newest Neon app, and play around with Finsights. That's it. Just note, we will be releasing Finsights as a beta. That means we wanted to get Finsights to you as early as possible for you to use it and to share your feedback. But then we know it's not fully polished yet. Zoe already mentioned some features that we want to release until the end of the year. But I'm sure there's also questions which will not be answered correctly. So with every question that you ask, please, if it's answered correctly, give us a thumbs up. If it is not answered correctly, or maybe your question wasn't really interpreted correctly, then give it a thumbs down and tell us what the reason is that you didn't like the answer. This will go a very long way in helping us improving this feature until the end of the year. And if something is not just right, also please be patient with us. We really want to improve the feature together with you. And if you want to do more, if you want to co-work with us on improving Finsights, then we have just the right thing for you. You should see here on my right now a QR code to our Discord server, which we created specifically for this purpose. We want to interact with you and share the updates that we bring and improvements that we do, but we also want to hear from you how you're using Finsights, your feedback, your ideas, and maybe even allow among each other for you Neoneers to interact and exchange on your maybe favorite prompts. So the Discord server is just right for that. If you've never heard of Discord before, it's basically an online forum. And if you're now streaming from your phone and ask how the hell I'm gonna scan this QR code, don't worry, we got you covered. You will get an email in the following days with all the information about it. The second way will be webinars. Until the end of the year, we will hold a couple of webinars where we will allow you to share your opinion, share ideas, and also we will share the improvements that we did with the app. And that's it for tonight. So again, tomorrow, head to the app stores, download the newest app version, play with Finsights, use the rating for every question that you ask. In fact, use the rating feature of YouTube right now and give this video a thumbs up. That would be amazing. And have a great night. Thank you.